How much is it going to cost you to set up a professional photography business in South Africa? And what exactly will you need? These are the discussion points for this video. At the end of this video, we're going to talk about the total sum. How much in total are you going to need to make this happen? For now, we're going to look at the individual items and how much they will cost you. Please don't forget to like, follow, and share. What I'm offering in this video is extremely important for someone who's actually jumping into the photography space. Now, this is a tech space. We need to know what we're buying, see if it's relevant still for the time frame that we're in. Now, the first thing that you're going to need, we're talking tools of trade now. The first thing you're going to need is a camera. For the purpose of this exercise, I went with a mirrorless second-hand camera, which is a Canon EOS RP, and that camera costs around 12,000 rands, guys, used. If you're going to buy it new, it may cost you much more, close to double that amount. Now, the next thing you're going to need is a memory card or memory cards. For the purpose of this exercise, I just decided to get a 128 gig memory card. This card will allow me to shoot from morning all the way till evening if I need to, and it won't limit me in terms of space. That's why I decided, let me just get a 128 gig memory card. The brand is called SanDisk, and it's an extreme memory card, meaning that this card is very fast. Now, this card costs around 600 rand, guys, but if you get it, you're good to go. The next thing you're going to need is an extra battery pack. Why? Because when you buy your camera, the camera comes with one battery pack. Now you need an additional battery pack specifically for the Canon EOS RP. Why? Because the battery is very small, which negatively impacts the lifespan of your camera. So while you're shooting, you may want to just have a backup. When the one you're shooting with goes flat, you want to just charge it while you're shooting with the other one, depending on what you're shooting. Specifically, if you're going to be shooting events, you will need a backup battery pack. You're going to need a versatile lens, something that will give you a versatile focal length. For this exercise, I went with the Canon 24 to 70 millimeter f2.8 lens, which is an EF version and not an RF version. The RF version of lenses allow you to just seamlessly connect with the EOS RP because it's a mirrorless new generation camera. But if you're going to buy an EF lens, it's the older model that was originally designed for DSLR cameras. Now you're going to need an adapter. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But the lens that I bought is a Canon EF 24 to 70 millimeter f2.8 lens, which came in at 23,995. It may be double if you buy it new, depending on whether you can find it new in this time and era. Now, that is a beautiful lens because it offers you very nice depth. It offers you good compression. Now, if you've got that lens, you're good to go. Why? Because you've got a series of lenses in between 24 millimeters and 70 millimeters. And if you got that, you're good. Now, the next thing you need is an RF to EF adapter. Why? Because the lens we bought is not just going to seamlessly connect with our camera. We need to adapt it so that the camera can be able to, work and synchronize with the lens. For that reason, we need to buy an adapter. I decided to go and buy a third-party adapter, which is from Viltrox. Now, this adapter costs around 1,975 rands. We can say 2,000 rands for this adapter, and I've heard that it works quite well. I checked the reviews. The next thing you're going to need, guys, is a tripod. The one I got is a newer portable aluminum alloy 2-in-1 tripod, right? You're able to use it as a monopod. When we say monopod, we mean one, meaning that this tripod I'm using only has one leg. But if it's a tripod, it's got 3 legs. That's why tri stands for. Now, this comes as a bundle with the specific tripod that we're speaking about. The next thing you're going to need is to consider storage. Storage is extremely important. Why? Because you can't store all your work in a memory card, guys. You need to dump the work in a secure drive. For the purpose of this exercise, I got a 1 terabyte portable SSD drive from SanDisk, which costs around 2,024 rands. The next thing you're going to have to consider after that is what platform are you going to be editing on? You can use your phone, you can get a tablet, you can also get a laptop, or use your desktop computer if you have one. But one thing you're going to have to be sensitive about is to make sure that the screen that you're editing on is an IPS approved panel, meaning that it's got advanced color reproduction technology that is able to show you the colors as they are from the picture file. What happens is your processor will go into your memory card and it will pick up the image that you clicked, and it will try and interpret the data and present it to the screen. Now, the transfer of data from the processor to the screen, that's where the challenge is, because it needs to interpret all those colors that are coming from the processor, produce them as they are. Now, different screens give us different types of quality. If you take the same picture and you put it on 3 phones, you will not see the same color reproduction. Why? Because the technology is so broad. So I decided to go with a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and this laptop comes with a touch bar, and it has a Core i5 processor. I don't know the clock speed there, but I know it's an 8th generation with 8 gig RAM, and it comes with 256 gig SSD storage. So to support that, you may want to use your additional storage on the side, and that comes in at around 10,000 rands. If I had my phone, I'd be able to use it, but for the purpose of this case, and because we are setting up a professional photography business, we may just want to get a proper laptop to work on, because there are certain disadvantages that come as a result of working on your phone. Once you generate too much data, you'll start seeing lag, so we don't want that. The other thing that you're going to have to consider is minimal lighting. Minimal lighting, we're basically talking about your speed lights. For the purpose of this exercise, you will need a speed light. For the purpose of this exercise, again, I decided to get a speed light. The speed light that I got is the Godox V1 round head speed light, designed by Godox for Canon. This is a good light because it offers extended battery life, especially for those of us that are going to be shooting weddings and events that drag on for the whole day. You will be fine if you're using this specific speed light. Now, you just need to learn how speed lights work and be able to use it such that it serves you the best way possible. The next thing that you're going to have to get is a camera bag. A camera bag will make sure that your stuff is well organized, your equipment is well packed, and you are able to pick up when something is not there in your bag. Now, one of the most important reasons for getting a camera bag is ease of travel. If you're traveling and you're not in studio, you're not at home, you can pack up everything and move very nicely. And when you get to your event, you're able to retrieve the equipment that you need when you need it. The next thing you're going to have to want to consider, guys, is a camera bag. Now, the bag that I got is designed by Canon, and it was designed originally for large DSLR cameras. This bag also features a very sleek design with a black finish, and it's got also red stripes on the side with visible zips, and it's a beautiful bag. It's not the most expensive bag you can get in the market, but it's a functional bag that you can be able to use. This comes in at 8,280 rands, for those who want to know. The next thing you're going to have to get as a photographer is a card case. Remember, your cards are very small and they're sensitive. Once they break, game over. You never want your cards to fail, hence you want to always protect them. Now, the card case that I got in this instance can be able to accommodate SD and micro SD cards. It basically comes in at 200 rands. The next thing you're going to have to get, we can argue on this, but the next thing you're going to have to get is a 5-in-1 reflector. Why do you need a reflector? You definitely need a reflector to either block out excess light or be able to soften the amount of light that's coming into your shot. This allows you to also replicate the warmth of the sun and impact the temperature of your images. You're going to need this because it's a very functional and productive tool to have as a photographer. These, for me, are the tools of trade, guys. I'm sure that there are more than these tools. Help me, please. Give us a comment. Tell us what it is that I missed on the comment section. I'd really appreciate that. All right, let's look at the other services that you need to procure, or other elements of the business that you need to resolve for you to provide a professional service as a professional photographer. The word here is professional. The first thing you're going to have to do when looking at the business setup itself is business registration. The business community is not going to recognize you if your business is not registered. Also, there are other individual clients that are not going to want to work with you if you are not a registered business. So, you registering your business actually takes you to a higher level of functionality, a higher level of reputational stature when it comes to business operations. You want to register your business. Last time I checked, I think I spent 250 rands back in 2021 registering my business. It may be more. So I'd recommend that you at least reserve around 400 rand to register your business. It may be less, but I'm just saying for safety, reserve 450 rand for business registration. The next thing you're going to have to do is set up a business account. So you setting up a business account will enable you to function as an official business. Everything just comes together, man. This guy has got a business registration number, he's got a business account. What else do we need? You know, the other thing that you're going to have to reserve money for is a website. Once you're done with the business registration, you need a company website where people are going to go online and get in touch with your brand and get to learn more about the company and get to learn more about your services and see some of the work that you're providing. We understand today that we've got social media, we've got Facebook, Instagram, and all of those things, but there are just so many factors to consider if you want to work with someone, because we've got a lot of scammers, we've got a lot of people that are stealing content from other people. So those are not really formal places of business. Formal places of business will be a website where you are actually giving credibility to your business so that people can recognize you as a formal business. And that comes in at around 2,220 rand for a simpler website, depending on where you go. Maybe that's the amount that you need to reserve in South Africa. There are people that spend much, much more for the same service. There are people that spend less, but I'm just saying this figure is a good place to start. The next thing that you're going to need is a bookkeeping service, a bookkeeping software. You're going to have to get in touch with an accountant, someone that's going to help you with your tax returns, someone that's going to help you with your bookkeeping, and they mainly recommend that you get a bookkeeping platform or software. I basically work with QuickBooks. There are other service providers out there that may be able to assist you with that, and that comes in at around 5,000 rand per year, because you'll be spending around 450 rand per month, and if you multiply that over a 12-month period, it gives you the figure. The next thing that you're going to have to consider, which is very important, is cloud storage. In this case, I'm paying Google around 200 rand the most, and I've got a few terabytes of storage at my disposal. I'm able to back up my work and also send links to my clients so that they can access the work that they need to. Now, there are other service providers that are more professional than Google, that offer a more refined service than Google, but I still choose to go with Google because they're just easy to work with and they're straightforward. Maybe in the future I'll decide to change. You guys will also maybe advise me to say that I can work with these people and this is what they offer if you see the need. The next thing that you're going to have to consider is a marketing budget. Now your website is set up, now your social media is set up. You basically need to make sure that you've got a marketing budget. However you're using that budget is up to you, but you need to allocate money to marketing so that your business stands out and it's visible and people recognize and take note of it. Now, once you have reserved that money, you need to make sure that you keep refreshing and you keep checking the insights on whatever advertising that you're doing, because you're going to get insights, especially if you're doing it online. You're going to get insights and reports in terms of how your ads did, and then you can basically increase or subtract the figure depending on how your ads were working for the previous month. Now, this for me comes in at a monthly total of 1,000 rands, and it's been working okay for me. The next thing that you need to consider for me, which is also the last thing, will be your fiber expense, internet connectivity. You need to make sure that you've got a very strong internet connection so that you'll be able to access all your emails, you'll be able to access all the platforms that you need to check up on the DMs and the messages that you'll be receiving in different directions. That is extremely important, guys. This for me comes in at around 419 rands, and that's the cost of my fiber connection. Guys, there are so many things that you need to consider when running a business that I didn't mention here, but this is just the minimal parts of it, because when you scale up and you go to the next level, you have now employed people, you've got, very different a cost as opposed to someone who's running the business alone. But this will work for you. Again, if I have missed something, please send it to the comment section. Alternatively, please like the channel and follow so that we can bring you more and more of this content. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. I'm also happy to receive any lessons that you guys might be willing to teach. And if you know better pages, or if you know better channels that are teaching this information, please send it also to the comment section below so that we will all learn and grow together. Guys, thank you so much for watching till this point. We are now going to share that master figure, the total amount, the lump sum that you need to get. Producer, can I get a drum roll, please? Thank you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. So basically, on average, you need around 48,779 rands to set up a professional photography business in South Africa. Let's round it up to the nearest 10 and just say bring 50,000. 50,000. It's what you basically need. I know for some of y'all, you're like, what? That's nothing. Yep, it's nothing because you've got a lot of money, but we're not the same, you see. This 50,000 is a lot to another person, and I know someone out there may be saying that's a lot, but I can tell you that when you have sent this figure in, you're going to be getting something out. So it's not only that we must view it as an expense, but also take it as an investment to say, where is this taking me? Guys, thank you so much for being with us from the beginning to the end of this video. Please like, please follow, please subscribe, please share the content so that other people will be able to grow and will be able to all, come together and grow as a community. Remember, as a photographer, you are not only providing a service, you are running a business. Now, the business part of, this art needs to shine. So you need to shine more as a business owner rather than a photographer. This means that you need to push the business, you need to push the brand, you need to make sure that the brand is out there and people can recognize and respect it more. Thank you so much, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.